I find objects tell me stories, and somehow when they tell me stories, I imbibe a lot of the history, the feeling of these objects. One of the main things that I always question when I'm creating objects is why am I making it? The world is full of objects. If you can infuse a product with a sense of energy which is unique, there is a reason for its existence. I think when you create objects, even if they are diverse, somewhere they start accumulating qualities of togetherness, that the objects kind of relate into one another through some sort of a ephemeral quality. Making is just not the physical act, it could also be the mental act of making things. When I create these objects, I kind of transform myself into the object. Hi, I'm Mukul Goyal and I'm a maker of objects. In 1998, I set up my own studio. In the initial years, I worked a lot with crafts and different materials. So today we operate primarily under 4 verticals, if you would like to say. One is the objects, the home objects that we do, the personal objects, whether they are deskware, tableware, decor or jewelry or barware. So that comes under objects. What I love about working with human forms is that it gives me a way of being in the object that I create. When I create these objects, I kind of transform myself into the object. People really love these objects because they're able to relate to them. If you really pack a lot of emotion into a product and others are able to see that emotion, I think you'd be successful in doing what you do. We are also able to explore a very diverse range of aesthetic. The designer in you always looking for newer expressions. And I think Tattva as a range offers me much wider expression possibilities. I can explore really minimal work to decorative work to textural work or craft work. So all these various inspirations that are there, which need not always go into the Mukul Goyal objects, which is a very tightly curated range. This is a very diverse range of expressions, and we're very, very kind of careful about not letting go of the tactility of the object. I think it's very important you feel the object that you're touching and you're using. We really keep having a lot of different ideas and fun to create objects for the hardware range. That objects or the hardware doesn't happen in silos. The inspiration doesn't start in silos. So we keep, in the studio, we keep experimenting various finishes, various inspirations, and we start creating objects which may not fall into the tight requirements of a range. We end up creating a sculptural piece or a decorative piece or a large, bell or whatever. So now these objects don't fall into what is called a giftware or a homeware or a hardware range. So over the years, we have created so many of these experimental works. So we've kind of put them together into what is called the studio range. When we do sand casting, 99% of our material is recycled brass from scrap, so that brass has that wonderful ability to be recycled. It also gives you diverse finishes, and these objects tend to last a really long time. We design our objects to last, So we fight obsolescence. We'd like to infuse these objects with emotional strength that you don't get tired of it at any point of time. We'd like them for you to love these objects. So even if the finish on the surface does wear off, it ages beautifully. And I think that's a beautiful aspect of brass. Other work that we do is bespoke work, which is basically collaborative work, whether it's institutional or for hospitality projects or for personal homes and things like that, where we do sculptural work, we do architectural features. Now this actually requires the collaboration with the architects and the landscape designers of that projects. It is not just you create something and it goes in. We'd like to create something which is meant for the space, and so when you're in an adventure and you find a beautiful thing, you just kind of capture it right there, and I think there is that childlike feel in what we do, because there is a sense of adventure and discovery every time. Going forward, the way I look at it is that we want to continue to stay inspired. I don't want to predict what kind of objects we'll be doing or what kind of things we'll be making, but I want to continue to have fun and continue to create great objects which everybody will enjoy. And I think that is the great part of what we do. And I if you foretell the future, there's no surprise left, and hopefully we should be able to do that, as they say, not metal.